So I almost used the same exact background as you because I thought it would be hilarious if we both had the same Zoom.
You can't get this background. Do you even know where it is?
Sure you can. Yes, I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Did you steal it?
I almost downloaded it and set it up to do it to back us up, but then I realized that I do have a pilot position of the Millennium Falcon ready for rock and or roll. But fear not, Michael, because the end times did not happen, and Creed is on tour again. Yes. Can you take
They're
them
out there
higher?
with arms wide open. I know that. With
Can we
arms
cannot-
wide open. Did you see Adam Devine? The guy from Workaholics.
Adam Devine.
He sang Creed at a party and just set the whole. He did it like in his way.
He set the building on fire.
Yeah,
nice. That guy's fucking awesome.
He is. Yeah, it was.
He's very funny.
It was pretty good. I think.
Very funny man.
Yeah.
What did I just see him? Oh, I've been fucking watching Modern Family late at night, and I forgot he was in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, fun.
He's got like a really interesting life story. I saw he was. If you care at all about him, you should check out Blocks with Neil Brennan. Interviewing him. It's like an hour of it. But like he had like a horrific accident with his legs and burns and stuff, and like he's been through some shit. Which, I mean, I'm kind of happy I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
he doesn't strike me as like a tabloid kind of person. Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting that someone who's like a very big star, but in big movies, big TV shows or whatever, that you don't know everything about them.
Yeah.
You know? Like, after all this time until like this year, I didn't know anything.
Well, I mean, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's nice
that's what I'm saying. It's nice.
Yeah. I get that.
He left a little bit for himself there.
Yeah,
and Neil Brennan's
that.
podcast was the right place to drop it.
Yeah, I am agree.
A little bit more serious.
So, it's Monday.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's Monday.
Dude,
how many times did you listen to TTPD this weekend? How many times did you listen to?
But I got to get to something first.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Because
the preamble.
We're going to get into that thing, right?
Okay,
because you have things about that.
Yes.
But let me tell you something really quick here, okay?
Let me speak at you for a moment.
Let me show you something. All right. Stu, as you know, my studio move has been going slow but surely.
Yeah, it's about 6 months.
Don't call me. Surely.
Don't
3 months, 4, moving on 4.
3 months, okay.
But so we're making the final push right now.
Yeah.
My studio is on the first level. And here's one of the coolest things. You know what's really cool about having a studio with a full kitchen?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Like, you get to make tea. You could just have your lunch there. You could, the band could just eat or whatever you're doing media-wise. You don't have to worry about it. And I mean a full kitchen. I'm talking sink.
You got a stove
and
a
dishwasher, stove, microwave, full-size fridge, okay?
Yeah.
Not one of those little efficiency ones that some studios have. So that's awesome. That's one of the best things about it. You want to know one of the worst things about having a studio kitchen?
When you cook kimchi down there?
No.
Okay.
Leaks. Plumbing
issues. Like as in like an onion subtype leak or
No. Welcome to 2 Shots and a Royalty Check, brought to you by Venmo, Your Money, Your Move, and Liquid Death, Murder Your Thirst. Let's get back into it. Get the fuck. I'm going to the penalty box. That's horrible.
It's a 2-minute minor right there.
Boo this
Somebody
man.
boo this man.
No, dude,
I'll accept it.
I go down yesterday and the sink has overflowed with, it's not sewage water because it's a kitchen sink, but with water and detritus. It's all over the floor. It's seeped into the outside hallway.
Ew.
I mean, it is code fucking red, right? All the guitars, all the tech, all the computers, all the like papers. There's like a lot of paperwork that I have that's going on with, lyrics and a bunch of different stuff as an office stuff. Holy shit. So it becomes a code red on my lovely Sunday off. And here's what happened. I had to spend every 2 hours yesterday going down and using this fish pump to put it into 2 Home Depot buckets, carry those Home Depot buckets to a boiler room, pour it down that drain. Every 2 hours I had to do it once we cleaned up the spill so that nothing else got ruined. And by every 2 hours, Stu, I mean,
you mean like,
the last time I did it was 6:30 this morning.
Oh, my God.
So I was doing it from noon yesterday, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, midnight, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6:30.
Yeah.
All
that's
fucking like Lionel Richie, dude. It was all night long. And
oh, my God. All night? All night.
And it was full every 2 hours. And it just, oh, my God, dude. So shout out to studios with full kitchens. And I think part of it is Denver is doing this like sewer reconfiguration thing to get rid of lead pipes.
Ew.
And I think they may have fucked something up because, I mean, there's like just water. Like people in the building weren't using water at 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. They weren't doing, like, so it just, oh my God, it fucking sucked. Now, here's the good news. Did the cats wake me up? No.
What?
No.
They knew.
My alarm
kept
waking me up every 2 hours.
Wow.
I would get up, put on shoes. Yeah. By the way, when my cat, when Zahi got up to like I need breakfast, meow, meow, doing his fucking thing, right? I was just sitting there.
No,
I was like, yeah, fuck you. Let's go give you breakfast right now. Oh, it was.
Did you have the sad Keanu going on? I'm sorry.
So he didn't get the joy of waking me up. And see, you can hear in my voice. Of course, I'm tired. I'm always tired.
Yeah.
But I don't have the headache from the cats and the waking up and the screaming and all the rest of it, although it was the most stressful. It was a very stressful 18 hours, let's say. And gross.
I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
And part of my lyric files were fucking ruined. And it stopped me from doing this Olympic pitch this weekend. And it just... So, I wanted to get that out of the way so that everyone knows if I do sound tired, it's because I was bailing out my studio, literally. And worst case scenario is that I didn't finish getting the studio put together this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. That's gross. And it's one of the fun things about dealing with...
buildings
suck.
Although buildings are great. Thank you, Romans. Whatever.
We could be recording in a yurt right now.
But the good thing is I didn't get any sleep Thursday night either because
it was release time.
Tortured Poets Department. Yes, Taylor Swift. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. Let's go.
Of course, the first thing I posted was as soon as it came out there was a Hard Times article. Let me see if I can find the headline here.
Hard Times is a website like The Onion for musicians.
Yeah, much like The Onion. And it said, Taylor Swift tells Swifties it's almost time to shed their physical bodies and ascend. And I thought that was, so I had to post that and then post that the Tortured Poets Department, TTPD, not to be just called, it's not TPD.
Because of
it's TTPD. If you need some, backstory on that, listen to last week's episode.
That's right.
You can't just walk in the front door and hope to, just get everything for free.
You can't know everything.
You can't know everything. Not everything's on sale.
These podcasts are only 5 hours long. We can only do so much.
Only so much we can do for 5 hours.
Someone's listening for the first time and going, Jesus, really?
Yeah, Jesus Christ!
Sit down.
I'm gonna need to get some snacks.
Get a joint.
Some snacks. A joint. Exactly. First off, I think that she is okay. So let me look this up.
All right, man. These are all great points. You're off to a great start.
I'm not even sorry. I've had a few people say to me because I've got some friends in various genres of music, and I posted the Torture Poets Department. It's really fucking good. It's a really great first listen. There's some songs that I love, and there's some songs I'm like, eh. I mean, it is a fucking double album. It's 30-something tracks.
Yeah. It is 31.
I did see a post from a person that I Did follow until I read this, and then I stopped following. And it was basically, I don't understand why a lot of your songs are explicit. Kids listen to these songs and also sing them back. What are we teaching them?
Oh, for
and I was
Christ's
like,
sake.
And so I was like, okay. And it's somebody in an industry position that I respect and I like, but I was just like, you know what? Let the fucking artist be the artist, would you? But I just want to talk about the song I've been telling everybody, just fucking listen to Fortnite. Just listen to the first song on the record.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't get you, you're not going to like the rest of the record.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, but it's a real good lead single.
It's a real good lead single.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some convertees just off of that one song. You know, it's like,
yeah.
But it requires some effort,
as all of them do.
It requires some, It requires you to, you know, dye your hair black and, you know, talk about your feelings and maybe put on a little My Cam to lighten up afterwards.
Here, I'll give you a few quick takes and we'll go back and forth and bounce this around.
Yes.
It's a sad fucking record.
Yeah.
That's it. It's sad.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be. But it's kind of, she had some of it in her pocket from a previous relationship from Joe. Mm-hmm. And then she had a spurt after a situationship with the Matt Healy guy from 1975. Because that's what she does. She's a fucking songwriter. She writes about things that are going on. It may not be exactly, like a lot of Swifties get this wrong. It is not exactly about certain people all the time.
Yeah.
She is a far better songwriter than that. But there's also two that are clearly about Travis Kelce. And so it kind of spans the whole thing. And I think what's so interesting is that when they got together, she would have to, there was a conversation. She had this in the holster. Like, this is going to come out, and this is not about, this is about what just happened this summer. And now I'm at your games. But you're cool, right? We can be cool with this, but let me let you hear some of it. Like, I wonder how far that conversation went. This is a thing that songwriters struggle with all the time with their partners. Yeah. Is that, like, is that song about me? And then secondly, why isn't that song about me? And did you write one about me? And, like, do you really want one written about you? You know, there are some of those things that songwriters have to go through, and especially with new relationships. And so I think that to me is really interesting. I think that, first of all, here's my biggest take on this, and I'll keep it to music business, because you can look at this set of music in a lot of ways. You can look at it as it's too much. But I think the 31 fit together. This is a double album. Yeah. Unlike Cowboy Carter, which felt very disjointed. You could play this all at once and be like, this is the same time. This is the same kind of produce. And it's two different producers, Aaron and then also Jack. But God, Jack was moving into some country shit. He went so indie on his guitar that the tremolo was almost like country guitar. Yeah. You know? But some of them are just really bare bones, basic acoustic piano, vocals, some vocal producing and stuff. They're not all lush. There are just maybe two or three bangers on it, two or three, big ones. Yeah. I know for sure one of the videos is going to be I'm So Good I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Nice. Which is that's one of the up-tempo ones. It's really cool. But so there's that to consider. The sequencing is a little bit weird when you get to the second half of the 31 songs. But I will say this. It is a massive undertaking to release an album at all, right? 12 songs, 10 songs, doesn't really matter. Yeah. Her fucking team and how they did this, and it's just so underreported, because why would you? You just sort of expect it now. But to have 31 songs loaded in different places, the lyric files ready on Genius for people that don't have premium Spotify, the videos loaded on YouTube. Yes, there was a leak apparently that got out off of something, but it kind of stayed down pretty low, and it didn't happen until the day of. But to coordinate a midnight release on all of this, and then a 2 a.m. release on the second half of it, and all of it to go perfectly. The lead single that came out, then the drop of the first part of the album, then the drop of the second part of the album, and then as the day went along, you got the video with Post Malone and all that went with that, as well as the YouTube shorts that were going along with that. And then you got into the lyric videos. It is so hard to pull this shit off. And they did it flawlessly.
Yeah.
And you know that because nobody's talking about it. It just didn't get in the way of the experience at all. It was like, oh, this is fantastic. Look at what they did. And it took over whatever platform you were on. Yeah. It just took it over. Yeah. You're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I don't care where you were. Yeah. You just started seeing all those sepia pictures and you're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. And it stands out. Like, even like if you're on like Apple, like it's the only black and white photo on Apple, the Apple Music app. Everything else has got a color or a hue to it. And the category is Taylor's TTBD era.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, there it is. It's right there. And it takes it over.
I personally think she has a 10-song pop album in her pocket right now. Think about this.
Yeah.
She's about to go back on tour again to finish up the Eras thing all summer in stadiums.
Yeah.
People are going to demand that she plays a few of these. I don't know if you've seen that concert, but I don't know where the fuck she's going to put them. Maybe in that little acoustic section. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, what a problem in a 3-hour concert where people are going to be like, no, I would like 2 of these too.
Yeah. And I would like 2 of the mid-tempo downer ones.
Yeah, totally. Make us sad.
Yeah.
And
bring us back up again. But shake it off.
But there's no way that she could have released like a big pop dance album, like a big pop bangers album, because she already is touring her whole career of them right now.
Yeah,
So, I mean, just to look at the business side of it and how this all plays out over the next 6 months, 8 months or whatever, I think she's got one in her pocket for after all this is done. Yeah. And by that time, she will have written another. Yeah. But there's also going to be a re-release coming, right? There's still a re-release. There's still Reputation to come. There's still Debut to come. Yeah. There's still, like, her runway is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I got, and I'll finish my little first points here, and then I want to hear more of yours. I got a little bit of shit about like, why do you cover this so much? Like, so people in my like private groups see how much I cover the Taylor Swift things, right? And I will do the whole most stream album of all time, over 200 and whatever it was million streams, 234.
Yeah.
Most streamed single in a single day, beating Mariah Carey last year, which is over 24 million streams for one song.
Wow.
It may take up the entire top 10 chart because of the amount of songs. If she hits number 1 on it, she's going to tie Jay-Z for the most U.S. Billboard number 1 albums at 14, which is the same as Jay-Z. Only people above that is the Beatles. 19 number 1 Billboard albums. And she is going to hit 19 with the 2 re-releases and whatever comes out next. She will. So probably she'll get close if she decides to continue on. But so people ask me all the time why. And I explained it to a guy like this. If you weren't a Bulls fan or even a basketball fan in the 90s, but you were in sports, in the in the business of sports, you still watched Jordan. What is he doing? How is he doing it? How's he doing the brand activations? How does he do interviews? How's he continuing the whole thing? Yeah. Because I'm telling you, we're watching Jordan here. Nothing she does isn't the number 1 of what it is. Number 1 tour, number 1 streaming concert tour on TV, number 1 concert album in movies, number 1 record, number 1 single, number 1 streamed of all time, number 1 album of all. I mean, it doesn't fucking stop. She doesn't miss. This is Jordan in every championship without the break. And so that's why we're doing it, you guys, is that it is important for you to pay attention to the best in your game. And she is the best in the game.
And if you just take a little bit of what she's doing and apply it to your own stuff.
Dude, just a little.
Just a little bit.
Give a fuck about her music.
Yeah.
I explained it to someone the other night. They're like, I don't understand why you differentiate the marketing of her versus other bands. And I was like, it's really simple and it's really hard to do, but it's easy to understand. She treats her music and the launching of her music as if she was her number one fan in charge of it.
Yeah.
She doesn't do it as the artist. She does it as, imagine if you're the number one fan, you know more about the music than the artist does sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because you've made all the connections, you have time. Mm-hmm. And so she treats it like that and then gives everyone that shit to become bigger fans. And, you know, influencers of bands or anything like Dungeons and Dragons, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Those influencers that know the shit more than George Lucas knew Star Wars or knows the shit more than whoever the thing is, they become just as big and more important because you trust how they're launching it. You know they love it like you do.
Yeah.
And so I would say, like, if you're an independent artist, treat your music like that. Like, think of yourself as your number one fan, not as the artist. And what would the number one fan do to get people excited?
Yeah. I think that's... I noticed that when was it? I don't remember what record it was when she'd put out like essentially the puzzle photos, I would call them, on TikTok and Insta, and it had clues to what the track titles were going to be, and it was she was holding the phone upside down and a bunch of
that was
the color
Midnights,
scheme. Midnights, thank you. I couldn't remember what record it was, but like all of that stuff, all those little things, she knows that like that's how her fans engage because that's how she engages as well. And you're absolutely right. She acts like she's her number one fan, and not in the misery, chop my feet off with an axe kind of way, But this, you're right with regards to this. This again, every time she does something, she does it the best way it could have been done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting to be able to tell the difference between Aaron Dessner's production on it and Jack Antonoff's production on it a little bit. It's a little bit more obvious to me than it was,
especially in this grouping,
especially in this one. Yeah, it's and I feel like to correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm getting this wrong, but I feel like Aaron Dessner's stuff's a little lighter than Jack Antonoff's stuff is.
It's a little less weird.
Yeah.
I mean, there's there's a whole conversation even in the fan base of like, it's time to move on from Jack. You've done what you need to do. Yeah.
And not that he's not fucking brilliant, but it's,
yeah. And it's just as a certain sound that's probably, I mean, it's Sad Girl Summer is all of this shit, right? It's Sad Girl Summer. And I think that again, I do think she's got an album of bangers ready to probably record or has been recorded, but like, I think that should be a different producer the next time.
Yeah.
And
I
plus,
feel like
give
she's
someone
like
else the money. I mean, seriously, Jack Antonoff is a co-writer and has producer points on this. He's worth like $50 million now because of Taylor Swift, not because of Bleachers. I'm sorry. I mean, I love Bleachers, but it's not because of Bleachers, and it's not because of, producing a few other random things, that would still make you a few $100,000 a year. Yeah. It is because he also is associated with the number one album, the number one single, the number, what I mean? It's like just the number of the number of streams they had on Spotify. Just think about this. The number of streams they had on Spotify for the album in the first day. Remember we talked about Beyonce hitting the most, and that was like 76 million.
70 something
like that. And she did at least 230, something like that. So like way the fuck above, right? Now 31 tracks, you're kind of cheating. The Adele people would come in and tell you, when Adele did it, she just needed 11 songs, you fucking cheater. But hey, maybe she figured out something there. That makes sense in a streaming world to put out as many songs as you can. However, that just the first day, just from the recording royalties on Spotify, was $1.5 million.
Yeah.
So the cost to produce this record, I don't know. I don't have any inside information on it. I would imagine it's probably in the area of $1 to $3 million, depending on how much they did softly, because there's so many like stripped down songs. Those can go pretty quick. You still got to have them mixed and mastered, and it's probably at least $10,000 a song at that level. But I mean, there's a lot of she's at that level where it like flips, right? You go at a level where it's like not, it's $500, $1,000 a song, right? And then you get to a level where you're kind of playing in a brand new label atmosphere, and you're maybe at $5,000 a song. It's like, wow, we're playing big now. I mean, that's a $100,000 album, $200,000 album here. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then you get to the level of like what they do, and you're looking at $1 million a record, $2 million, and that's pre-marketing, right? Pre-marketing.
Yeah.
But some of those people are like, no, fuck it, I'll mix it without pay.
Yeah.
Like Jack would probably take the fee off to get the royalties.
Yeah.
You're going to make so much more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one where you take the points and you're a co-writer. Fuck yeah. So, I mean, it's like how rich people get free meals.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point, it just turns.
Yeah, I've had that that conversation around artists at a certain level does become about passive residual income. It
Absolutely.
just does.
Yeah.
And that's if I was working with I've had that conversation with several artists. They're like, "What would it take for me to get a discount on this?" I was like, "Yeah, well, you need to have a whole lot of marketing behind your record."
Proven previous sales, and I want to see the marketing plan for this one.
Yeah,
and I want to know the spend.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. But I mean, it's an amazing feat. You can say what you want to do about the music. I love so many of the songs on it. I do like the music personally.
I like the music too. There's still some of these songs I'm like, that's a great song. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about how it was presented. Does that make sense?
Florida. Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Florida is fucking weird.
Yeah, but I can get this. Like, it's a great song,
but I get it.
But I'm just not sure how it's presented. So that's the thing I'm getting from all of everything that's going on, especially with regards, like, she's probably got another banger record. And the thing is, she's like Apple to me, which is we've currently got the iPhone 15 in our hand, and they're currently working on the iPhone 25 in Tim Cook's basement, right?
Yeah.
And so like as an artist, we talk about this all the time. Everybody, when you write a new song, songwriters are going, my new song is the best song and I want to put it out right now because I want the world to see it. And it's like, if you think about somebody like Taylor Swift, she's 3 albums ahead.
Yeah.
On the other side.
She was sitting on those songs for years. Some of them for years. And then these last ones, she recorded the lead single with Post Malone last September. Yeah.
2022 or 23?
No, last September. Fresh off of a Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Goes to New York and goes and so, I mean, if you think about that, she knew what she was going to be doing.
Yeah.
But all of us are like, oh, she's in the middle of a world tour. Of course she's not going to drop a secret album. And, I mean, all the fan base was like, well, the next thing's going to be a re-release, a Taylor's version. Yeah. That's why she's in the studio. No, we were all wrong.
Yeah.
We were all wrong. She's in there fucking around with Florence and the Machine and Post Malone. Yeah. And, dropping Sad Girl Summer shit last September.
Yeah. Yeah.
And making Uncrustables for the whole Kansas City Chiefs team. By hand.
Uncrustables. God damn it.
Pat Mahomes let that leak out. It was she made them for the whole team by hand.
Wow.
It's like, man, you bitch, leave some for some of us. Leave some, she's just killing it on every level, and she definitely needs some therapy.
Well, but maybe making these records is her therapy.
That doesn't every songwriter say that.
Well, I also believe that there's nothing you will accomplish that can fix you inside.
Well, of course not. No, I mean, that's the whole point of therapy.
And songwriting.
Yeah. Yes.
So A++ marketing, I would say A- record, because some of it I love and some of it I'm
some
not
of it's
sure about.
Okay, here's the thing about the music side to me. nothing sucked.
No.
And I can't tell you that someone could put out a 31 song album and have nothing sucked on it. I don't think I could point to any artist I know of, independent or major, that'd be like, okay, I get that song, not my thing. But like with her, this whole thing, there was something in everything, lyrically, music-wise, production-wise, that you could hang on to and be like, okay, that's interesting. I'll go back to that. That didn't hit me right away. But like nothing sucked. And I point this out all the time, even with major label people, is like, there is every chance in the world this could suck, you guys.
Yeah.
And it is amazing when it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then there are, I think there's are at least 7 great songs out of this set.
Yeah.
And further on that stand on their own. If you don't know about Travis Kelce, if you don't know about Matt Healy, like you could just listen to this in 5 years and not know the backstory and be like, oh, that's a well-written, well-produced, by the way, artist recorded song. Her vocal structures in these, the way she's hitting stuff is excellent. It's just excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. All right, well, let's move on to where she's going to be here soon. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We got our inductees. Let's just touch a little bit of it. I know some people hate it and some people don't. And those of you that hate it, just shut up. Like, it's the Music Hall of Fame. 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 We call it Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's just what we do.
Yeah.
But it is the Music Hall of Fame, basically.
Music.
And so just shut up. But here's
shut up.
So just to give it to you here, that I think is really important. There were 8 in the class for performer: Mary J. Blige, Cher,
excellent,
Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, Ozzy Osbourne, and a motherfucking Tribe Called Quest.
Yes, excellent.
So good. On the music excellence category, this is kind of one of those ones where we can't put you in the first one, but you deserve to be in there. Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace. Shout out.
Rest in peace.
MC5, Dionne Warwick, and Norman Whitfield go in that. And then for the Music Influence Award, I'm really happy about this one. Alexis Korner, John Mayall, and Big Mama Thornton.
Oh, nice.
That woman deserves to be in all of the halls of fame, and especially if you're a guitarist, go look her up. That's all you need to know. And then Susan DePass is getting the Ahmet Ertegun Award, which is basically a music business award. A lot of people don't know who she is, but you should look her up. Suzanne DePass is DePasse. You should look her up because she's kind of one of the reasons how, like, the Supremes took off. She was the Motown creative assistant. She dealt with Berry Gordy. She dealt with the Jackson 5. She basically took them on the road. She was part of the Motown productions. She moved a lot of Motown music, and especially black music, into entertainment, into television shows and movies.
Yeah.
Lady Sings the Blues, Sister Sister, The Temptations. She dealt with a lot of that. There is a whole Harvard business class on her. So, like, if you give a fuck about the music business, and you should, she is a great pick for that. She deserves the credit. And so there you go. Any problems with this list for you?
I'm surprised it took Cher this long to be in this.
We should mention real quick, Cher, Foreigner, Frampton, Kool and the Gang, and Ozzy were all first ballot inductees. So Cher hasn't even been nominated before.
What, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
All right. Ozzy makes sense on his own and not with Sabbath, right? Because Black Sabbath is already...
I believe so.
Yeah. Foreigner.
I have words on this.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Okay, so I years ago was possibly going to be on the voting committee of this. And so my point of view on this, after talking with people who do... I'm not a voter, but talking to people who are in the voting process of this. A lot of it is fan-based now, but back in the day, it used to not be fan-based at all. But my point of view on it is that when you're picking someone to go into the Hall of Fame, My thinking is, can you write the history of music of their time without mentioning this band? Mm-hmm. And if you can, they don't get in. So could I write about the early 80s without mentioning Foreigner? And it would be a pretty well-rounded article, a pretty well-rounded roundup. I think I could. I think I could get away without mentioning Foreigner 4. Great album, great band. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Really good. And I mean, important to a lot of people in junior high or whatever. And, you know, and big hits. Don't get me wrong. But I think I could probably put them over here with Mr. and some other bands. I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel about it. Now, could you write the history of music without Cher? No. Dave Matthews Band? Not. I mean, he launched a whole acoustic AAA Americana revival. Mary J. Blige. You can't write about R&B and women in R&B without Mary J. Blige.
That's true.
And the same thing with Peter Frampton. You can't write about basically arena guitar rock in the 70s without Peter Frampton. You can't write about it with the, Talk Box. I mean,
Frampton comes alive.
Kool and the Gang. I mean, Niles Rodgers. Like, you can't write about 70s funk and soul and disco without Kool and the Gang. And again, all of these bands have songs that are in your life today. You go to a sports show or you go to a sports final championship, they're playing Celebrate Good Times. That's Kool and the Gang. Yeah. There's some of these things that are still in your life. Same thing with Ozzy. Ozzy was just a massive influence on a lot of people. Yeah. And a cohort of one of the best short-lived guitarists. With Randy Rhoads. And,
and like the guy was a legend when it came to picking his lead players. Every single one of them had was massively successful after that,
And his life story, his survival story. Yeah. I mean, pretty amazing. And then you would have to kind of throw in the Osbournes, the show. Yeah. I mean, as part of social culture and A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, that just speaks for itself.
Yeah, that
kind of hip hop, posy hop, like that. It's so important. The 90s don't exist without A Tribe Called Quest. Yeah. They just don't. And there's so many bands following them that don't. And so that's where my thing comes in. And so Foreigner, I literally think that Foreigner got in because Paul McCartney did a little short on TikTok or YouTube.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see
Foreigner,
that.
not in the Hall of Fame? What the fuck? Unbelievable.
There was some post about a few months ago.
Does Paul McCartney care about Foreigner?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it was this. I think it was right before Beyonce's Cowboy Carter came out, and she had that Blackbird thing on there, and he posted something about how got a really great collaboration with an old friend coming up, and somebody posted, "Isn't this the weirdest way to find out John Lennon's still alive?" Anyway, before I forget, I wanted to make sure I don't like correcting you on the air, but I'm going to.
Oh. What do you mean you don't like it? You should.
Because Big Mama Thornton was not a guitar player. Sister Rosetta Tharpe was the guitar player. Big Mama Thornton was a singer and songwriter, R&B and blues singer. So
Big Mama Thornton played guitar.
She did not play guitar.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
Okay. All right. Whale's vagina.
I
know who you're talking about.
You know what? Hold on. Let me read this here. It's, according to New York, the song Hound Dog is seen as important because she was the first to record Lieber and Stoller's Hound Dog. It was written for her. It was the first song, important beginning of rock and roll, especially in its use of the guitar as the key instrument.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was a guitar player.
Okay. All right. I mean, she's not the guitar player that you're talking about with Thorpe.
Yeah.
Not like that. No.
Yes.
You are correct, sir. She's more of a harmonica.
I'm sorry. I feel like a real penis.
No, that's good. Don't worry. If you don't correct me, they will.
They will. Anyway,
Big Mama Thornton, big thing. Big voice.
Yeah, that's a
big voice, big personality, big woman.
That's a big one, and we've got a friend of ours is working on a potential documentary about her as well.
That's right. Yeah, there's going to be a big documentary.
Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Yeah, I think those are all fantastic offerings for the Rock Hall.
I'm pissed Rage got left out.
Yeah, but it's going to happen.
But I think they should have been a first ballot.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they launched new metal, basically. They launched rap metal. They launched a fusion of that together that like, and aggressive and political and, you know, and also placements in movies because of The Matrix. And
oh my God,
there's just a bunch of social impact that they had on the music world and the listening world. But they also weren't the biggest band. Like, I mean, I know to a lot of fans like me, you know, it'd be like, oh my God, Rage Against the Machine was the biggest thing ever. No, they weren't. Look at their sales. They weren't at all.
Yeah.
But as far as like, could you write about the 90s without Rage Against the Machine?
No, you couldn't. Yeah.
Because you never get to Limp Bizkit. You never get to POD. You never get to, there's a whole genre of music that doesn't happen without Rage.
Yeah, you don't get Linkin Park.
And also, you know, people of color. Again, this is the line from MC5, you know, that basically runs into Rage Against the Machine, and you have, you know, but you know, I know I'm a true believer in Rage, so I got to put that aside.
I agree with you. I remember, like, you know, I mean, Rage has been with me since I moved to this country. And in high school,
well,
I
that's what happens when you move to America.
You know,
here's your Rage.
I meant Rage Against the Machine has been with me since I moved to this country. But yes, the expat anger, you know, is definitely deep in my heart. Which is why I left Tortured Poets Department so much. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's a good solid.
Heart of Stewart.
Oh, you used my full name. I don't know how I feel about that.
Sorry. I'll bleep that out.
Terrible. How dare you?
Bleep that out, Kelsey. No one should know his full name.
No, that's not my. That's not my full name. Wouldn't it be great? Because we've got a friend whose name is John, and I always call him Jonathan, and that's actually not his name. It's just John.
Yeah, but neither is J or double J.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, you know, fuck off.
I would like to. I would like to now change my name officially. Does Stu store for Stuart? No, it's not.
No.
And just don't clarify that. You know, just say no, it's not, and just like let them figure out what it's short for.
This is like Michael and Mike. There are a handful of people that are allowed to call me Mike.
Yeah.
Or Mikey. That are from literally high school, and even then it wasn't cool, like, because I gave that moniker up in elementary school, and the reason why is fuck you life cereal. Mikey likes it. It was like, oh look, a chunky kid eating cereal. So every kid that was named Mike in elementary school was like, you know, had a fat complex.
Oh
yeah, it was horrible. Sorry. Yeah, cry for me, Argentina.
I will, in true Madonna fashion.
So that's when you're 14 years old and you're like, it's Michael. Hold on, let me do that again. It's Michael.
Yeah, I like the little break on there. Yeah, it's perfect. Nailed it. And you know, we are available for voiceover.
That's
everybody.
Right, we are. That's my 14-year-old voice.
Speaking of 14-year-old me, did you see any of the No Doubt performances from Coachella?
I did.
And thoughts?
I love Tony.
Oh my God, the man does not age.
He doesn't age. He's got some Lenny Kravitz blood in him.
Yeah, don't we all wish we had some of that?
Yeah, I wish I had some Lenny Kravitz in me. Hey-oh! Okay, so, it's, I love that they're doing it, and Gwen is still Gwen.
Yeah.
And that's probably more important than anything else. But Tony was amazing, I thought.
Yeah.
And I think that the juxtaposition between No Doubt and Blur, these 90s bands that they're trying to do the thing that Fall Out Boy and the rest of them have already done. Green Day, all of them have done this, where it's like, oh, we'll do a little Coachella, see if we could sell some tickets, and then boom, now there's a whole tour happening. That's probably going to happen.
Yeah. Did you see some of the blowback from Blur having a very how do we say, challenged set.
Listen, you got a bunch of 23-year-olds there that don't know who the fuck you are. You had 2 hits at best. You had one really well-known hit. But Damon's up there like screaming at the crowd to like sing along and do that. And they were kind of quiet. It's like it was late. And, you know, these kids are, I don't know if you've seen the other headliner sets, but it's Sad Girl Summer there too. Lana Del Rey set sucked. It's so slow. I'm like, you're playing this at 11:30. So I see the Blur thing. And I saw how the crowd was quiet. And then Damon tells them, well, you better enjoy it now because you're never going to see us on this stage again. And
until next weekend.
Then the next night they had to play.
Yeah.
Because the manager went and showed him the contract.
Yeah. It's a lot. I saw an Instagram post that said Coachella is Urban Outfitters the musical. And I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I've enjoyed catching something. Yeah, Lana Del Rey's set was very down-tempo, but I will say this: she did have her band up there the whole time, because I know there was also an article from Mateus Asato this last week, the great session guitar player, live guy, about how a lot of the artists he was seeing in Coachella, it was all about them and some crazy big old set piece. Yeah, you know, like Tyler Creator had like the fucking UFOs and shit like that all over the stage, but no live bands. And then you had No Doubt, Blur, and obviously Lana Del Rey's band up there, but it was all about artists, couple of key dancers, and tracks, and what's happening with the stage musician anymore. And I was curious about now that Coachella is wrapped up, thoughts and opinions on what you were seeing from the things you saw.
I know I'm old because I just was screaming at it the whole time. How do you not come out to up-tempo music? I think most of these artists are spoiled by their fan base, that they love these songs that are in their headphones, and they don't produce a show. So much dead fucking air. And I mean from the rappers to the pop stars to the bands. So other than No Doubt, I will say No Doubt put on a show like I Like. It was a show. It was like a set, and it ran into each other, and there was a little bit of talking when there needed to be, but like... It didn't just go black and then nothing quiet, and it went on. And some of these other sets I saw, and particularly Lana Del Rey's set, was just, I thought it was horrible, but the crowd didn't. You know, I thought it was horrible because it was like, she's singing so mealy-mouthed. She was clearly fucking high. Good Lord. But I mean, she came out to Neil Young's Hey, my, rock and roll will never die, acoustic, and then got up there and then sang another slow song. That is not a song to come out to. That's a mid-set song to me. And then she did 3 songs that said summer in them, and another one of them was that summertime song, you know, represent the LBC, me. Yeah. I'm like, you did 2 covers? You have 30 minutes, 40 minutes here, and you did 2 covers? Like, it's just, I don't know. I know I'm old. I know I'm wrong about this. But I hated most of the sets because I did not think, because they're spoiled. They're spoiled. These weren't good concerts sets. Yeah. Also, Grimes, you can fuck off with blaming everyone for your DJ set falling apart, except for you. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. I read.
Dude, it got pulled down, but it was brutal. Music's just playing everywhere, different tempos. Then it starts blanking out. She's pushing shit. She's trying to figure it out. And she had other people doing her files for her DJ set. But this is like, there are a lot of them basically playing to tracks. And I'm not talking about guide tracks. There's a difference between backing and guide tracks and tracks, right? They were playing to tracks. And she fucked up her whole entire set because, like, the software started running the wrong songs and the BPM wasn't showing right, and she couldn't get the secondary. Like, if you know DJing, you can't. If you don't get the secondary thing going, you can't mix out. You can't mix in. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare that didn't need to happen. Had you actually been DJing, you could have pulled it off. Just like if you're a guitarist and you're like, oh my God, okay, my string broke. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't play on that. You know, oh my God, that pedal's out. You know, somebody come and unplug that and put it in a different pedal. Like, there's ways that we do this, and you carry on. But yeah, I thought a lot of it, to me, sucked from a show standpoint.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean, the visuals, I get it. The visuals were a big deal. But I mean, music into music into music, flow of the set, you know, up and down, you know, dynamics. I didn't see a whole lot of that.
Yeah, I from what I saw, I watch only the things I want to watch, you know.
Yeah.
So I did. I'm a big fan of Blur, and I was a little bit like, hey man, that's getting a little much. You know,
even for a snotty punk Brit.
Even for a snot, yeah. I mean, Park Life's a great fucking record, but it's again, you're right. Like they haven't done anything. I mean, Gorillaz is a bigger international band than Blur was.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, to have the same expectations of that you have of Gorillaz it doesn't work. But yeah, the thing I'm getting from all these things is it's more about there's almost no substance to back it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like all flash and explosion and all that kind of stuff, and nothing of substance, because when that fails, when the facade falls apart, and you have to rely on your musical talents, if you haven't practiced your DJ set before you go out in front of, you know,
dude, she let someone else
60,000
do her files.
Nope.
That's like having someone else. Like, if you're a DJ, you know what we're talking about here. That's like if you were crating, if you were walking around with your crates. That's like having someone else check whether or not you have the crates in order.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
Having someone else like run your reactor and make sure that all of your BPMs and your buttons are mapped correctly. Like, that is just insane. That's like never touching your guitar before you get on stage. Like, you touch it a little bit. You got to know, like, that's just craziness.
Yeah, it was a little. All of it's a little shocking, but you know, like, it's done, and we don't have to worry about it for another year.
No, and you know, I think it was down a little bit.
Attendance wise, or
I do like tickets wise. Yeah, I do like what they're doing with the Couchella. I mean, that's how we saw it on YouTube. It's that, by the way. Okay. So secondarily, that production was amazing.
Yeah.
Those shots were amazing.
Yeah.
The cameras were amazing. The audio feed was good when the band sounded good, when the artist sounded good. If the mix was right, it sounded good.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if you've been to Indio like during this time of the year, but it is windy as fuck in the desert. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, like, sound is going to swirl. Yeah. And they did a really good job of producing a TV show for YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, and especially the daytime stuff, which is the hardest thing to do in a festival.
Oh, yeah. It's just
brutal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the night stuff looked great with the big visuals, and, you know, the screens never screwed up. The videos never screwed up. And I think they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Again, it seems like people are listening more with their eyes than their ears. Anyway.
Yeah, and they're high, and I get it, and it's, you know.
That's what we like, though.
I know, but, like, this younger generation, and I know, did he just say that? He did. This younger generation of music fans is, and I get it. I know that I'm different here, and I know that I'm wrong compared to what you're thinking. It is more about vibe than it is about entertainment. Mm-hmm. I come from a background of entertainment. I come from a background of don't use a mic on stage at a musical or a play. I come from the background of a big fucking opening song, 3 songs before you talk. And like, there is a formula that most people would agree, like, God damn, that was a great live show. I come from a background of, you know, ending on a big song to just sweat them out and leave it all on stage. Not another sad song to end it and like, bye, you guys. I'm sorry. I know I come from a different background, but I wish that some of these artists would do that. They just don't have the catalog. These mumble rappers, there's nothing above 125. You know, Lana Del Rey, I don't think she got above 110. It was, God, just brutal. And the band is working their ass off back there. And it's mixed down at 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so low because it's...
Yeah.
But again, I get it. I just so you know, I'm not so old to not see it, that it is more about the vibe, man, instead of the entertainment. It's more about the vibe. And, that ain't my vibe.
Oh well, I'm happy that it's not your vibe because I dig your vibe, bro. How asleep is Kelsey by the time we get to this?
She thought Lana Del Rey was great. You guys don't understand. She's like, she was mothering. She's mother. I don't get that one either, but okay. I understand it. I know what the hell it means. Don't at me. I'm just saying, she just was high as fuck, but I guess she's always that way, is what I'm being told.
Oh, fantastic.
Like she's just sort of, hi, you guys.
How's that again?
Hi, you guys. Here's the other thing, is that there was a rumor that Taylor Swift was going to come out. She's a very big fan of Lana Del Rey, and that she was going to pull her out. And at one point in the set, Lana Del Rey goes, we have a very special guest, you guys. And this is one of my favorite singers in the world. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the moment. Which, by the way, this was like 11:30 on Saturday night, I believe. And then the next thing you hear is, what the fuck's up, Coachella?
Oh, no.
And I'm like, that ain't Taylor Swift, probably. That was Camila Cabello.
Yeah.
That's who came out. Which, by the way, she brought tons of energy. She took her meth pills. And that worked. I thought she did a great job, allegedly. Allegedly, Kelsey. Allegedly.
Oh.
I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. She did this song where she actually sings that part. I love it, 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 I love it. For like 3 minutes.
Wow.
It's not a great song, but it was some energy. I would have done that first, but whatever. I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You just don't understand, Michael.
I don't. It's about the vibe,
don't understand.
you guys.
It's about the vibe.
It's about the vibe. That's I do get this thing, is that they don't have the catalog because people aren't doing. They're not doing records that way, right? They're not doing an album that way where it's like, where when we were doing a lot of albums, it was, you had a sequence where it was like the opening track needs to really grab you. The third song is probably the single. The fourth or fifth song is the ballad. The sixth or seventh song is the deep cut. You get to the eighth, ninth, and 10th, you're a little experimental. And then you have kind of a bigger song that's like sort of your closer. There were rules, not rules, but sort of really more guidelines than anything. And, you know, but that's not the way a single driven artist is anymore. Yeah. They're just putting out their saddest, overly soaked, drenched in compression and reverb song for the vibe, you guys. But I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to say that I'm so old, although I've said it 5 times, but I'm not going to say that because you know who knows how to fucking do this? Billie Eilish.
Oh, yeah.
You know who knows how to fucking do this? Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Watch that Eras tour. You'll get your 3 acts out of that. Same thing with Billie Eilish. Somehow she gets those really low mix songs to be hyped in a live show, like they should be. Yeah. So it can be done. Yeah. It's just some of these pop divas are, you know, they have too much. You know, Billie Eilish is out there running around in running shorts. And so Lana Del Rey can't really do the up-tempo thing when she's worried about her hair and her veil and her boots are a little, you know. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Kelsey is so pissed. She loves Lana Del Rey. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. And I like drug music.
Yeah, there you go. There it is. There it is.
All right, let's get to the topipic.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've already turned this off if you hate Taylor Swift, so that's fine. We're just going to get right into it. So I wanted to point out something here about lyrics.
Yes.
One of the most amazing things that happened with this drop and with every Taylor Swift drop is that while the songs are dropping and everyone's listening at the same time, you see lyrics posted everywhere. everywhere. The lyrics are important to the Swifties. It's kind of important to everyone else because they are very lyrically driven songs. Obviously, with the Tortured Poets department, their lyrics are going to be a big part of this.
Yes.
Now, as you know, I love her lyric videos. I think she has changed the game with lyric videos. And so when it drops, the lyric videos didn't drop right away. And I was like, wait a minute, did that happen with Midnights? And I think it did. I'm not really sure. But it was just like the album cover on YouTube, and you have the shit on Spotify. Now, if you had Spotify Premium, you could see the lyrics on Spotify. But if you didn't have Spotify Premium, like half of the people, and then also some of the Apple people too, you didn't see the lyrics. So where did you go for the lyrics? Well, if you do a Google search, the first one that comes up is Genius. Genius.com. There are a few, Music's Match, Lyric Find, there are a few that do this, okay? Music's Match is like, say you're self-distributed on DistroKid or TuneCore or whatever. That is most likely the company that when you drop your lyrics onto your distribution thing, that's the company that actually takes them and distributes them through Spotify. They're the partner of Spotify and Apple. Music's Match with an X, by the way. So why all of this, Stu? Why do you think that would happen? Here's why. They made money on the first night on you looking at lyrics. This is a music publishing play.
Explain yourself.
Okay.
Sir.
Genius.com, and I'll just take them as an example. Lyrics Find is the same thing. There are all of them are the same problem and solution. But let's go with Genius. Genius used to be called Rap Genius. And Rap Genius used to launch things, and they'd put users on there that users would upload the lyrics that they heard in a rap song, and then everyone would fight about whether or not that was the right lyrics or not, and who this diss track was about, and what this was, and you could annotate it on the site. You could annotate it on mobile and on the site. Well, in 2014, Rap Genius changed over to Genius.com, and it wasn't just about rap lyrics anymore because they had to settle with the National Music Publishers Association and pay back royalties because they said it was fair use. We're just posting lyrics as fair use. To which publishers said, no, lyrics are specifically part of the copyright, and they are. And to reprint lyrics is a fee. That's a fee. Cash on delivery, like a COD. And so you have to fucking get a license to print or show lyrics, even a snippet, even 2 lines of it. But publishers, it's low-hanging fruit. It's not that much money. It used to, and this all comes from printed sheet music. Okay? That's where it comes from. But because printed sheet music is sort of outdated for the majority of things, it's not like everyone's buying it for their piano at home so the family learns how to sing it. No, it's more it's on the internet. Well, Google was part of this because if you do a Google search, it would show they wanted to get into the snippet business and show you those lyrics. Well, because of this settlement, they did the pass license, and they had to pay off the money to the publishers, to anybody part of the NMPA, which I was at the time too, and my publishing company, I should say, not I. And then going forward, they had to pay licensing for displaying the lyrics. Well, how do you do that? Well, Genius decided, here's what we're going to do. We're going to slam fucking dunk you with tons of ads on our website.
That's right.
And they do.
They do indeed.
And so does Lyrics Find, so does Music Match. And then they take that revenue, and there is a revenue share that pays out for the display of lyrics or the reprinting of lyrics, which is basically kind of a lyric mechanical copyright that gets paid to the PRO. That's how this all flows. It's paid to the PRO, to the music publisher. That is split however the songwriter split is done. So that's where this comes from. And so I imagine that there was a window period that Taylor Swift and them decided we will not put the lyric videos out on YouTube first so that people will use Genius and use Lyric Find, and we will get some money. Now, to them, I mean, they maybe made $500,000, maybe $1 million on it. So it's not that much money for them, right? But it is an SEO thing too, where it like bumps your whole album up, and you had all of these people copying and pasting and posting online these lyrics that were clearly from Genius.com, and so it is a money thing, and then you put out the lyric video. So what can you learn about this as an independent? Well, guess what? You can upload your song to Genius for fucking free. Why aren't your lyrics on Genius.com? Why aren't your lyrics on LyricFine? You can do this. You can do the same thing and make your fans go there when you drop your album. Now, not only can you do that, you can also pay for promotion on Genius. It's $500, $700, $2,000 to show on the front page, to promote to their millions and millions of website visitors. And it's basically puts you at the top of the lyric files and stuff.
Nice.
You will find if you release music on DistroKid and you've put the lyrics in and all that, they do not all show up on all of these, even though they say they're gonna. They don't. You can probably search for yourself right now on Music Match and on Genius.com and probably not find yourself. You basically have to go find your own artist, claim it, upload it again, do it direct. You can pay them $70 and send them the master, and they have their people expertly tell you what your lyrics are. You do not need to do that. Do you need to pay for the promotion of it? No, not at this level. You don't. At a label level, probably you do. Yeah. But just understand that people that were looking at the lyrics on Genius.com were actually paying Taylor Swift. Yeah, I think most people would be surprised to know that there's money in it.
Yeah, just another claim all.
This is why it's a pennies business,
streams.
You guys.
Yeah, all of your streams, revenue streams,
and it is important for you as an independent artist to do this for a lot of reasons. One, it will help your release cycle in SEO, what we call footprint, right? It will help with the footprint when people are searching. It will also help you get like sort of accidental search results. So if somebody's searching a phrase and that is one of your lyrics, it might pop up.
Yeah.
And they may find your song that way. It's a different way for people to find your song. It may pop that way if people are looking at you as an artist. I will tell you this privately, just between you, me, and the few thousand of people listening or whatever, labels look at this.
Yes.
Labels look at this, and you can see the web traffic. And so if you want another data point to put into your little packet to try to get your licensing deal, you're 50-50 with a label, this is one of the things that you should absolutely fucking do, because labels will look at it and be like, okay, their team has their shit together. They have their lyrics on there. They're correct.
Yes.
So they take, and by the way, when I say labels, I also mean big time music publishers. So you want to move up to a bigger music publishing deal, this is the shit that they focus on. And so if they want to take over the reins and sign you to a bigger thing, this is, just understand this from a music publishing standpoint. If you do this work now with the music you already know, the lyrics you wrote, it's less work for the music publisher, and that equals more upfront money for your catalog. If I have to do less work to sign you as a music publisher, or if Warner has to do less work and just claim it, that's worth some money to them.
Yeah.
So there you go. Lyrics. Who knew?
Do you have a microphone you want to spike now? I mean, I know they're both on stands, but do you want to drop it?
No. I think we've proven our point. Here's what I know. This is one of those things, just like Sound Exchange, that I could talk about for years, or write about in Performer, or write about in other magazines, or be interviewed about, and you guys won't fucking do it. And then you bitch about how there's no money in the music industry, and how, oh my God, all the corporations take your money. And it's so bad out here. And you know what we should do is go back to physical. And you can bitch all you want. I'm just telling you, this is yet another little road that you could go down, and there's money down this road, and it's not a lot now, but it's never gonna be if you don't start.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's well stated.
But this is for us. This isn't for the people listening. The people listening are like, yeah, it's really interesting. I don't have time to upload my lyrics. You fucking weak ass artist. You don't care about your lyrics? Did you see how many people were discussing 2 lines of this 34-year-old woman's music? They weren't discussing the key or the beat. They weren't discussing. They were discussing the lyrics. You dumbasses, get into it. Jump on board, bitches. Did I say that right?
Jump on board. Is that a T-shirt we're making this week? Jump on board, bitches.
Jump on board, bitches.
Okay. Is the bitches on the back?
Kelsey's not a fan of this.
Okay. All right. Fine. Okay.
Jump on board, Lana Del Rey, bitches. No, still don't.
Nope.
That's still
still
no.
didn't like that one. No, but at least there was some music business talked about today.
So here's what I got in my headphones. How many people take trains? That's fair.
That is very fair.
Fair.
That is very fair. That's fair.
But that's because of our crumbling infrastructure, and we haven't built high-speed rail. But that's another podcast, isn't it? I want more trains.
Yes, it is. I want more trains too. Trains are cool. All right, should we jump into a sync?
Let's get into the sync of the week.
Yes. I'm going to go first.
All right, I love it.
Because you're going to be very proud of me.
I already am.
I have watched not one, but 2 new programs over the last,
I'm super proud of you.
week or so. I'm consuming. I got. First of all, have you watched Fallout on Amazon yet?
Look at that. You're way ahead of me.
It is fucking great. It is gory as all hell and pretty hideous sometimes.
This is
caught
based
myself
on the video game, right? This
based
is an
on the
IP.
video game, and it's really great. There's a couple times when I was eating a snack while watching and had to put the snack down.
Oh wow!
But it is real fucking good.
From our friends at Bethesda, by the way.
From our friends at Bethesda, and in what episode was it? I think it was episode 5. Shit.
So
Now
it's
I have to look.
episodic?
Yes, there's 8 episodes. Yeah, it's and they just got greenlit for season 2. So more Fallout coming your way. But yes, episode 5 in season 1, they had a Dinah Washington drop of what a difference a day makes. Now I cannot give the context of this, but it is so beautifully placed with what the characters are going through. It is well done, and also we've got this far future show set way in the future, and all of the music is fucking old.
Yeah,
music. Some of them are newer recordings of older, 40s and 50s tracks, but it is like just the juxtaposition of the music and the apocalyptic wasteland landscape, and fucking weird, radiation
and doesn't
creatures.
it have like the 50s aesthetic?
Yeah, some of it does. Some of it has the 50s. So there's a. Because
I played the game.
So some of it's that, but there's also a high tech piece of it. There's also like kind of a Western piece of it.
Yeah,
it's and it's the same gang of people who did Westworld. Jonathan Nolan is one of the creators and producers and all that kind of stuff. So it's real fucking good. And I'm gonna butcher this name, but it's Tryg Toven.
Tryg Toven.
Trygge. First name Toven. Toven. Supervisor on that, and it's fucking excellent. And but don't watch it with the kids around, because they will have nightmares with some of the head explosions.
Excellent. Hey, what platform is that on?
That's on Amazon Prime.
Ding.
That's $1.
Yep, Amazon Prime. Very nice. All right, thank you. That's a good one. I'm looking forward to watching it.
It's real good.
I haven't heard anybody talking about it other than gamers.
Yeah,
so that's nice.
And what are the gamers thinking of it compared to the game?
Gamers are tough. So I didn't put much stock into that. I just was like, oh, they didn't hate it, but they found problems with what would you call it, like lore, canon. Yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, it's fucking adapted IP, you dumbasses.
No, what does
there's
that
going to
mean?
be some change.
Yeah. There has to be for that continuity.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of let that go. I'm like, okay, well, you just don't understand how it works. Mm-hmm. God, that's such a me thing to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You've been.
Oh, and you do? You
St.
launched
James.
a AAA game and turned it into a big international hit? No. Sorry, but I could. Anyway, all right, so
Fantastic.
mine is from Apple TV.
Excellent.
And as always, you do not like anyone fully in this show.
Fantastic.
But it's interesting. So this is Sugar.
Oh, is that the Colin Farrell program vehicle?
Yes. Not Colin Firth.
Not Colin Firth.
Which I just kept saying over and over this weekend. And I had to tell myself, I was like, no, that's not right. And then I was like, Colin Quinn? Is it Colin Quinn? That doesn't sound right.
No.
No, Colin Farrell.
No. Different
and
Irish
by the
guy.
way, an amazing English accent in this. He's not mumbling at all. You would think he
fantastic.
speaks American. And also French, and also German, also Japanese.
Wow.
It is a weird fucking show. This is an Apple TV show through and through. It's
Fantastic.
The clear and logical home of Sugar is what this is. And what it is basically he's a private detective, a private eye who is trying to finds lost people. But he is in his mind. He is like sort of classic era Hollywood movie guy. He loves movies. He's obsessed with them, and he drives like a convertible blue Corvette. He wears black suits and Ray-Ban sunglasses. He looks fucking great in it. And he is he's in California again, and so he's all around Hollywood, and it's basically like film noir in a lot of ways. It is Philip J. Marlowe kind of classical PI film noir kind of stuff, only updated now. But in his mind, he's in the Hollywood world too, and so it intersperses with tons of film clips, real film clips. It's just a weird show, and this is another one that I'm digging it. But it is weird. It's a weird show. And the music is very strange. And
cool.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. There is a line in it that UFO, the band, is way underrated. And in the first season, and this is the first season, in the first episode, there is a needle drop of Cherry from UFO.
Fantastic.
And so then it comes up later that UFO is underrated. But there's some really dark saxophone stuff in it, some very international feeling songs in it. So it's a weird show. I know I'm not selling it well, but you know me, if you're watching Apple TV and you want to see kind of a weird show and try to get into it, get into the second episode. Just get into the second episode and you may be hooked, because I kind of am, I think. I like it.
Nice.
And the goddamn music supervisor is Gabe Hilfer.
Well, hey, buddy. Thanks for
Take
doing
another
it.
one.
Take another one.
I mean, some other people would like to get into this game, Gabe.
Can we send him
I
a
haven't
gold?
done a supervision project in years because of you. No, not because of you. You're good. You're at a different level.
Can we get him a gold-plated shot glass? That's the 2 Shots
Two Shots
Putty
Music
Award
Soup
or
of the
something.
Year. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we'll do it like the
Dude's doing
Heights.
the Lord's
It's like
work.
the baby, the golden baby they gave away.
It's like the Dundees or something like that.
Yeah, so it's cool. That's Cherry, UFO, the music supervisor, Gabe Hilfer. Sugar on Apple TV. Go check it out.
It's funny because looking at the advertising for that, I would have thought it was a period piece set, and just by looking at what I've seen from it, it's like but to find out that it's not that, I'm more curious now.
Well, and you kind of get the feeling that he may be having psychotic stuff about being in the past.
I love unreliable narrators.
Yeah,
It's like my favorite.
But he's
thing,
but it's also like totally in that film style of the PI is the narrator. Like, I've got to figure this out. I can figure this out, right? Get it together, man. Get it together. That kind of shit.
Excellent.
And with cutaways and all that, and then it gets back into the real narrative. It's interesting. I don't know. I think that like no other platform would have taken it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't feel
Yeah.
at home anywhere else. It's
Yeah.
it's very weird, but I'm glad
Excellent.
it's being done.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's going to be a hit. No one's talking about it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. We'll enjoy it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Kelsey. Hit the music. All right. Let's wrap this sucker up. If you would like to work with Stu, you can go to StuMillerMusic.com and see if he has any openings. He may have some openings for some mix projects. He may have no openings for producing. Maybe just one if you could sneak in there right now, but he may have some consults on.
I have one available.
Oh, you have one. I'm looking at it right now. Thank you. I have two of those, but there's reserved. One of them is reserved for Lana Del Rey. And remember to rate and subscribe to us. Give us 5 stars and leave a hilarious comment wherever you leave comments. You can follow us anywhere at 2ShotsMusicPod. That is the number 2ShotsMusicPod anywhere. You can also email us 2ShotsMusicPod@gmail.com. That's the number 2ShotsMusicPod@gmail.com. Send us your comments, your questions, your feet pics. Stu would love them all.
No.
No. Okay. You know what we
Feet
didn't
pics.
say on this episode? Cocksucker!
Well, you got the long exit. The long exit.
Holy shit. This is $1.20, dude. I'll read about. You goddamn rock this monster.
Right. Everybody write a great song. We're going to moonwalk out of here.
Bye, you guys. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. And this is how we end our set. Okay, goodbye. See how shitty that is, Lana? All right, talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.